Hi, welcome to Simply Scrapping. Narelle here, and today I am doing day 15 of 30 days of sketches. I'll pop up the sketch on the screen. This is a really different sketch. I've never seen one before when we've got like the 4 half circles. It's really cool, going to give a really interesting effect. So I am teeing this layout up with the Cut File Crazy hop, YouTube and Instagram hop, I believe, where we use cut files, and the other one is Collection Obsession. So this is my last layout for my uniquely creative collection called Coastal Bliss. I started using this in January and then made one layout, so I didn't do any Collection Obsession in February, so I'm back in March and I'm finishing off my Collection Obsession. So sorry, I'll run through quickly. If you're not familiar with what Collection Obsession is, you choose a collection and you use that collection throughout the month to make as many layouts as you can, and I normally try to do 1 per week. So I do 4 layouts using that collection through the month. And like I said, yeah, I failed miserably in January, did nothing in February, so I'm back in March. So I am using it also, like I said, for the Cut File Crazy hop. This is my cut file. The best days are at the beach. This is from, oh my gosh, Gwen Ruck, and I think it's created by Gwen. Oh, I'm so sorry. I did look that up, but I've had lunch in between and now I've forgotten it. I'm so sorry. I will link all the hops below that this layout is for, and I'll also link Gwen's shop and her blog and everything else, and her YouTube channel and all the rest. So that is one cut file I'm using, and then I also have some seashells. I can't remember, I'm so sorry, I cut these out ages ago, whether the cut files, these seashells and this one, were from the same file or a separate one. I can't remember, I'm so sorry. One day I'll be organised enough where I can tell you everything and not go, I don't know, I can't remember, you know, things like that. Anyway, these are my photos. The sketch has 2 portrait photos. I have a portrait and a landscape, just to be different, you know. What else? The semicircles, I've already cut them out from a second piece of paper, so that is them here. So this is my base. I keep wanting to wipe that off. It's actually patterned on the paper. Oh dear. And then I chose another piece of paper that sort of blended over the top. I didn't want them to stand out a great deal. And the way I cut out my semicircles was really quite easy. I just grabbed a dinner plate and then put it on there, traced around them and cut them out. Nothing hard. I mean, I've got all the cutting machines, but I can't be bothered sometimes getting them out. So a dinner plate and scissors works just as well. I have distressed around the edges of them, and I've also inked around the edges, but I've left one that I haven't done in case you're new and you've never used like this technique before. I don't want to assume everyone who watches my videos is an experienced scrapper. There's probably a whole range of people watching, so if you've never used an edge distresser, they are really so easy. You can use your scissors, which I used to use for a long time because I had lost this somewhere in multiple moves. Found it again, so now I use this. And basically it's just like a round, or I don't even know if it's round, it could be a straight, like razor blade encased in this bit of plastic, and it's just a little bit of it showing. You can probably see. So this is the Heidi Swap one that's donkey's years old. I believe there's an Australian store, Scrapbook Fantasies have brought their own one out now. Tim Holtz has one that's got looks like a bit more like a cog. He's got several of the blades in different segments, but yeah, this one still works the same. It's over 20 years old, but you know, the razor blade hasn't gone blunt yet. So anyway, so I want to show you what to do. So I hold it down under my arm just to give it a little bit of stability. If I try to do it like this, it's flopping around and I don't have great control. So you just run it, the blade, along the edge of the paper like this. The harder you push, the more of a distressed look you're going to get. And if it tears the paper, it doesn't matter, because that just adds to the distressing. Gosh, words are hard today. Alright, so you can see there how it's distressed that edge, and it's really easy and quick to do. So I'm just going to distress this one. It does make a bit of a mess, but you know, nothing we can't clean up. So I run it backwards and forwards sometimes, or just like the one direction. If you go backwards and forwards, that's when it can tear. But I do go back. If I've missed a spot or it's not roughed up enough, I will go back and like go back and forwards over it. But I tend to normally just go like the one way. I'll pull it towards myself. Obviously when I get down to, you know, this bit, I can't have it under my arm to stabilise it, so it does get a little bit trickier. And the end up here, I can't sort of start on the end and come down, so that's when I will go backwards. Basically, it works the same either way. Alright, so that is distressed enough. Now you just wipe off your mess, like snowing now. As close to snow as I'll get in Australia. And then I just went over it with my ink. I just use a finger, dauber. And I do like flicking motions. Lots of different ways that you can ink. You can do just a straight line if you don't want it as strong, I guess, or as prominent. But I like to do a flicking motion because I don't know if you can see a little bit of the ink comes on there. It's not just like a straight line, dark line. It's like blended out a little bit, I guess you could say. So that is that side, and you probably see it more on this side, what I mean by when I flick. So I sort of flick sorry, sort of like at a 45-degree angle, I guess. It's not like a straight down the side to give you a sharp line. I like a little bit of the blending. Alright, so that is how I do my distressing and my inking. Now, one more thing I wanted to talk about before I get on to actually doing the layout is the cut file, backing the cut files. I've never bothered to look how other people do it. I don't know the best way to do it, and I also didn't think ahead with this one. So what I assume the easiest way to do is that when you're cutting the cut file out, you make several versions. So you have this one, which is the outline, obviously, and then you've got the inside bits. Now, when you cut these out, the inside bits cut out as well. So I'm assuming the easiest way to do it is to do it several times, and each time you use a different paper for the different sections. Okay, I didn't think ahead like that. So, what I did, because these letters came out with, you know, when I cut out the outline, I had these letters. I'm so sorry, I have a frog today in my throat. Alright, so these are the letters that came out from each of those sections. So I just glued them onto another piece of paper back to front. So like the E got glued on back to front. And then I just cut around them, and they are what I'm going to use to pop in to these sections. Probably not the right way to do it. Who knows what the right way is? I don't know. And I've realized some of these are not the same, so I'm going to fiddle with them to try and fit the right one in the right spot. So it'll be easier, I think, once it's glued down. That's the only D, so I know that's in the right spot. Alright, so these don't look, when they're put in, they don't look like they're behind the cutout. They look like they're sort of, you can tell they've been embedded in, because they're sort of the same height, or marginally, very marginally, a little bit higher than the outline. So that's not the look a lot of people like when they use cut files. They like to back them, so they put the paper underneath. Now, by cutting out it several times, you can achieve that look, because when you pop it in from the front, it's going to sit flush with the outline. Mine always sit up a little bit when I do it like this, because they do have the original cardstock and then the paper on top. Anyway, yeah, so if you know how to do cut files better than what I've just explained, please let me know, because I don't use them a lot because I do struggle with them. So, yeah. Anyway, that's what I'm using. I'm just going to get on with it now, speed you up, and we'll see what I can come up with. Okay, there is my completed layout. Here, I didn't talk about it beforehand, but I've got this muslin, natural coloured muslin. It was from, it's actually part of the kit from the Coastal Bliss collection, and it's really cool. I was stumped for a long time on how to use it, so I didn't use it. And then I thought, well, I'll just have a play with it, and realised that it actually pulls apart and creates a really lovely whisper effect. So I've got a lot of it. It's like a metre of it in the packet. So I can use this on all sorts of things now. I'm actually going to try and colour it as well to see if it will colour just with re-inkers and change the colour to use on other layouts. So anyway, that is really cool. So little effect there. I don't usually normally use textile things like that much. Like you don't see me use a lot of ribbon or twine because I struggle to use them. So I'm really happy that I've worked out how I can use that, and it gives a really lovely effect. That is my layout. Here is the sketch. It was on the screen, top left corner, the whole time I was creating the layout anyway. It's pretty good representation. In the end, you really can't see the circles, so I think I might have actually covered them up a little too much, but anyway, they are there. You saw me do them. Yes, if you've liked this video, please give it the thumbs up. If you want to see what everyone else is doing with the 30 Days of Sketches, check out the playlist below. Also the Cut File Crazy playlist. And if you're not already a subscriber, please consider subscribing and hitting that notify bell so you know when my next video comes out. Thank you so much for watching, and until the next one, have a scrap happy day. Bye bye.